So guys, before we get started, don't forget we do have that amazing discount code thanks to Tier 0 Games going on right now. And all you have to do is put in ZW Games 5 to get 5% discount on your total order at tier0games.com. The links will be in the description below.
What's up YouTube, this is Joe from favour Games, and with the recent announcement of the last RAR support card, we don't know its effects yet, but it is God Blaze Cannon there in the OCG and in the TCG translated attack name, because it is an attack name based card. It's just Blaze Cannon. A lot of people, funny enough, thought it was volcanic support, but no. If you followed the show, I'm not sure if they said the name in the original, but I believe they did. But it definitely was being used in like the GX era and the subdiversion of the anime. Ra's signature attack is God Blaze Cannon or Blaze Cannon. So with that card announced, we don't know what the effect is, but if it follows a trend of other attack-based names, it's probably either a board wipe card, or a way to just inflict burn damage. If that is true, if it follows similar trends to other attack-based cards, it's going to probably be either advised like a one of or two of. This is my current updated build of the Winged Dragon of Ra deck. Comments to that card. Again, this is all post Duelists of Gloom. Now, a long-winded way of saying, but I had to give it a little brief reasoning behind doing an update on this deck. So, with all that said and done, if you enjoy it, give us a like, give us a subscribe. I'm really enjoying playing this deck, playtesting this deck. Winged Dragon of Ra, as I said, is one of my most favourite of the Egyptian gods, with Slifer and Obelisk following trend second and third. I just love the Winged Dragon of Ra. I just love how amazing. I just love how great his artwork is. I think he has one of the best artworks as well. I love his support, and I just love his appearance and lore in the anime. I just love how he's just this all-powerful god card, the most powerful of all the god cards. Every duelist fears it. It's just a really cool card. I just really do enjoy it. So, all that's done, let's get into this deck profile. So, for starters, we have 3 copies of the Winged Dragon of Ra. Post Duelist of Gloom, you're going to be summoning base Ra straight off the bat more often than you did before. And most previously, before it was all through Sphere Mode. That was the best way to utilize base Winged Dragon of Ra. Summon it through Sphere Mode, comes out 4k, and then you can start using your life points to just Phoenix Mode your opponent's field through his special effect. But now, with the new support, we have ways to just normal summon on the field, giving him his base anime effect of gaining the attributed attack. And then being able to revive him from the graveyard to just bomb monsters, pop himself, summon, and then trigger Phoenix Mode, summon himself, bomb more monsters, attack for 4k, and then tag out for Sphere Mode during the end phase. So there's a lot of synergies now that Ra just basically has, which is why in the base build post Duelist of Gloom, you play 3 base Winged Dragon of Ra. But we still play 3 Sphere Mode, but we're mostly using this for its Kaiju-esque ability. This is primarily a go second deck. You don't really want to be going first with Winged Dragon of Ra, because you're not posting up negations. If you have ways to tag, put a Phoenix Mode in grave, then yes, cool, you could probably go first, so long as you end on a Ra. That way, when they do get rid of Ra, you're going to get out of Phoenix Mode, who's practically immortal, hence his name. Which then, during their end phase, he tags himself out of Sphere Mode, then come your turn, tag out Sphere Mode for base Ra, start popping fields and burning, and then going in for damage. But we're mostly using Sphere Mode for the Kaiju-esque aspect. So that way, when we go second, we have a high chance of opening up the Sphere Mode. Then we can Sphere Mode our opponent, and then either go off, or at least know that you can pass your turn, that you wiped out your opponent's field, and they have to basically re-get the board back. To end on the Winged Dragon of Ra's themselves, we do play the 2 Phoenix Mode. I play 2 Phoenix Mode just because I want to see it Not too often, but I do want to have those times where I can have this in hand and then ditch it for my Millennium Revelations to then search out the Monster Reborn, so that way, you know, I have this Phoenix mode already engraved. Also, I don't want to have those moments where if I want to trigger Phoenix mode, I get it called by the Graved. If you get your Phoenix mode called by the Graved, there's a lot of your power plays and a lot of your mobility gone, which is why you play the 2 Phoenix modes. That's it for Ra himself. Going on to the main of the monsters of the Ra support is the 3 Guardian Slime. I don't play the other one anymore, which is the Reactor Slime. I find Reactor Slime doesn't really fit well in the deck currently. Reactor Slime, don't get me wrong, is a really good card, is a really good Egyptian god support, and I feel like Guardian Slime fits more of a Slifer and Obelisk based deck, considering Guardian Slime. Reactor Slime is a literal 1 card free sacrifice. And I think in those types of decks where if you focus more on getting those additional normal summons, Reactor Slime fits better in those types of decks, the Slifer and Obelisk deck. Guardian Slime is perfect for this deck just because it does search out your Ra support cards. It is a free body. It is your best way to go into God Slime, as well as it is kind of like a Battle Fader-esque kind of card and does help you very well. To replace the Reactor Slime though, I did put back in 3 copies of Vast Disciple. Combination with the Millennium Tablet. Vast Disciple has just gotten a lot better, being able to just instantly revive him from the grave, get 2 more, sacrifice them all for the Winged Dragon of Ra, and then if you had the Ancient Chant effect in play, you're going to get 3,300 points on your Winged Dragon of Ra, which is very, very nice. So Vast Disciple is very, very good for that. Next we play 3 copies of the Ghost Sister Spooky Dog. Where do we still play this card? Just because Winged Dragon of Ra is all about life points primarily. His main effects are all life point dependent, whether it's sacrificing them all to add to his attack or sacrificing your life points 1,000 at a time to start popping your opponent's field. Being able to just essentially stall while also managing your life points very well with Ghost Sister and Spooky Dogwood is very, very good for that aspect. Is a really good card going second as well, just because once your opponent starts going off, like if they make the high Fibrax and then they go high Fibrax effect to activate, you go, okay, cool, Ghost Sister, do you want to keep going? Give me life points. You're going first, mate, so you're not attacking me. So it's really good for mind games and it's really good for that aspect. I only played 1 Danger in the deck, and that's Danger Mothman. The reason for that is just I think he has the best draw potential and effects for this deck. No matter what you're going to get either essentially a Dark World Dealings or just a kind of an upstart Goblin with a monster on board. So I played the Danger Mothman for that. And to round up the monsters, I am playing 2 copies of Performance Trick Clown. Trick Clown is actually really good in the deck and is actually something I'm maybe thinking of bumping up to 3. Just because it combos very well with Guardian Slime. Guardian Slime can summon itself from the hand if you take damage. And Performance Trick Clown, by getting him back from the graveyard, burns you for K. Then Guardian Slime can activate summon himself, tag out for God Slime. Then then Guardian Slime triggers, gets you a Ra Search. So it flows very nicely with Trick Clown. Trick Clown's really good for that. To combo very well with Trick Clown, we are moving on to spells, is the 1 Foolish Barrel. Unless you use Foolish Barrel for Trick Clown, Guardian Slime is also another valid target. Next, we're playing the 3 copies of Ancient Chant. You got to play Ancient Chant. It searches you a Ra. It also enables to banish itself to allow you to give the Ra the tributed monster's attack points when tribute summoning your Ra. While also giving you that, I believe, the additional normal summon. Blah, 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 blah. And if you do during your main phase, you contribute some 1 monster addition to your normal summon set. So there we go. You could, in theory, tech this in a Obelisk and Slifer deck. You could probably play like 3 copies of this and 1 copy of Ra. And then that way you're getting that additional tribute summon which is very, very nice. Then we play 3 copies of Millennium Revelation. Very, very nice card, just really good for the deck. Being able to constantly recur your Monster Reborn from deck or grave is just absolutely phenomenal for this deck. You're having like 4 copies of Monster Reborn, 7 if you want to count the Guardian Slime as well. Very, very nice card. Really do like it. Then pay 2 copies of Bound the Bound Creator. Kind of wish this actually stated VAR itself, so that way you can search it a bit more easily. But I just play 2 mana Bound Creator. I don't play the Terraforming. This deck's not focusing on Mound the Bound Creator. It's just one of those cards that if you do open it, cool, you got protection for your VAR. But it's not really too much of a necessary. We are playing obviously the one Monster Reborn for your Millennium Revelation plays, and a new card in the deck is 3 copies of Hand Destruction. I'm also thinking of playing Dark World Dealings as well, just because you want to get these certain cards out of your hand, and Hand Destruction is one of the best ways to do that other than Dark World Dealings. Yes, your opponent gets to do it as well, and your opponent has to do it, otherwise you can't resolve Hand Destruction. But the downsides, the positives outweigh the negs. And I think Hand Destruction is really good for this deck. Being able to ditch those Guardian Slimes, those Trick Clowns, those Mothmans, those Phoenix Modes, like just get all these cards out your hand, dig through your deck, and then just get to your other pieces. I'm playing 1 pot of Avarice. You may think it's a bit weird, but you actually want to shuffle your VARs back into your deck at times. Your main loop is your Phoenix Mode to Sphere Mode to VAR to back to Phoenix Mode, and so on and so forth. The Phoenix Mode and Sphere Mode shuffle themselves from the graveyard, though the VARs come from your hand or deck. So being able to shuffle them back into your deck with Pot of Avarice, dig through your deck for a bit more cards, while also maintaining that constant loop, is why we're playing Pot of Avarice. 1 copy of Monarch Stormforth is another way to just remove monsters on the field, and 1 copy of A Wild Monster Appears, just because if you do have those Phoenix Modes in hand and you just need to nuke the fields, you can just go A Wild Monster Appears, summon Phoenix Mode, pop, 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 pop. Phoenix Mode is immune to all of your cards, so there you go. And to round out the main deck, we are playing 2 trap cards in the forms of 2 copies of One with the Sun Deity, just really punching for damage with Green Dragon of War. Really good game ender card. And depending on what Godblaze Cannon does, this one of these may be taken out as well as like maybe a Wild Monster Appears or Monarch Stormforth as well. So for the main deck for the extra deck is just literally these. You just play the 3 God Slime. The rest of the extra deck is just primarily rank 4 toolbox if you want to. If you want to go like Utopia play, you can do that as well. There's that as well. I'm not focusing too much on the extra deck until all the support fully comes out here in the TCG. I'm just literally playing with this. I never really see any other cards I want to summon anyway. Since the deck is just literally, once you get War in motion, you're pretty much doing well for the deck. So that, guys, is the deck. I hope you all enjoyed it. Leave your comments down below what you think of this. I'm really enjoying the VAR deck, and I can't wait for it to come out here in the TCG. So, as always, guys, like, comment, and subscribe. Till next time, guys, as always, happy dueling.